What's up, guys? Kyle here, back again with another video. This is probably going to be the first video I do on a specific wrestler, and it seems very fitting that the first wrestler that we do this type of video on is Rhea Ripley, because this is somebody that gets a lot of talk, a lot of noise. Is she good? Is she bad? Is she Rhea Hogan? I am a real American, right? Is she like that? Does she have the booking power to where she can get in all these situations and all that stuff, right? All that stuff you wondered about is going to be answered by yours truly in this video. So, first of all, Rhea Ripley, I don't know much about her first run in NXT. I wasn't really watching NXT like that. I really never have been, but I hear she did pretty well there. Then moved up to the main roster around 2020, gets a main event push, wins a few titles, and then she also was in the Judgment Day, mind you, for when it started in 2022. Got some success in there, defeated Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39, right? Then now, let's zoom all up here to 2025, where now she is complaining about fans, which, I mean, I wasn't really in the wrestling sphere a year ago, so I don't know if this is something that she's always dealt with, but but at this kind of crossroads now with her career, it's like, so, is she still a main eventer? Is she still a big draw and all this stuff? So, we'll get into this stuff right now. So, is she a big draw? Now, obviously, she is a big draw. Like, you can't really just, because here's the thing, right? It's like, I don't like her for other reasons, but I understand that she's a big draw, so it's like, of course she's going to be in all these storylines and have all these title shots and opportunities and stuff, right? I get that that's going to be the case because she's over with the fans now. Now, whether I think that's a good move or not, I also don't think you should be having your fans tell you what to do, right? All right, so here's the thing with Rhea Ripley, right? It's like, is she hot? I mean, come on, guys. I obviously think she's hot, right? I mean, but there's levels to this stuff, It's like, I'm not going to go gooning all over social media saying how hot she is, how I want her to smash her butt in my face and all that stuff. I'm not like that. But the thing I find funny about the wrestling community is that right, they will say how the women in the Attitude Era, they only got pushed because they were hot. It's like, guys, the only reason why you like Rhea Ripley is because she's hot. It's like, first of all, she has really no character. Like what does she do? What does she say? What's her catchphrase, right? If you guys can tell me, let me know. But I'm the guy who watches this stuff every week, and, I ain't hearing her have any catchphrases besides, "Always on top." That's the only thing I hear her say. Or catchphrase, that's the only thing I hear her say, right? She has no gimmick. She has no character, right? So, here's the thing. Why should I believe? Why should I like somebody in this fake sport of wrestling that doesn't have a character? It is only pushed based off of them being hot. I mean, come on, even Lita and Trish Stratus had characters and stuff, right? Gimmicks, right? They had all that stuff. But the thing is, why? Because this also leads us to the other problem with the Rhea Hogan thing. It's like, so here's my thoughts on the Rhea Hogan thing quickly. So do I like people being called Hogan, Becky Hogan, Rhea Hogan, all this stuff, right? Because the implication when you say that you're calling someone Hogan is that they're being booked, or they're that's what I think it is, right? When you call somebody Hogan, you're like, oh, they're being overpushed, they're being all this stuff, right? And they're correct. She is being overbooked, she is being all this stuff. Because here's the thing, right? It's like, when Hulk Hogan was overbooked, right? There was a reason why he was overbooked. The reason why he was overbooked was because he was actually a star. This was somebody that actually put butts in seats. And here's the thing. Is Rhea Ripley putting butts in seats? Yes. But here's the thing. Is Rhea Ripley putting as much butts in seats as Hulk Hogan did? I don't think so. And that's the problem with it, folks. It's like, it's not that Hulk Hogan is bad. It's just the reason why I think people say, the Hogan thing is because it's somebody that's getting overbooked or has too much backstage power, which, because here's the thing, right? It's like, it's so weird with the fans. It's like, there's the ones that say she's overbooked, taking it as it's a negative thing, but then they love her at the same time. It's like, so wait a minute. the reason it's like you gotta understand something. It's like the reason why they keep pushing her, the reason why the game keeps pushing her is because she is liked by the fans a lot and draws for the audience that wrestling has now. Because here's the thing, right? It's like another thing you gotta consider too is that like, you know, Rhea Ripley isn't drawing the same fans that Hulk Hogan did. Because here's the thing, is she drawing those casual fans? I don't think so. It's like, for the fans of wrestling today, she's pretty popular. But with the casual fans, chances are she probably isn't popular because those people would have been watching. And that's exactly the thing here, folks. And another thing to add to the Hulk Hogan, Rhea Ripley comparison thing is, right, here's the thing. Now, the reason why I wouldn't mind a Hulk Hogan push or a Hulk Hogan, like, right whenever he would get pushed or whatever, is because this is somebody that's a guaranteed draw, and he has a character and all this stuff, right? But here's the thing with Rhea Ripley. She's getting treated the same way as Hulk Hogan would, but she doesn't have nearly the character that Hulk Hogan had. And here's the thing about the Hulk Hogan thing, too, right? It's like, can you think of, because I know the IWC and all these people, right? Hulk Hogan's like someone that's really overhated, I believe, in my eyes, right? Here's what I'd ask somebody that, you know, thinks that Hulk Hogan buried talent or whatever. Did any of the people that Hulk Hogan buried, were they on the same level or more of a draw than he was? If the answer is no, then he has a right to bury them. It's like, I'm sick of all of these people saying that, oh, he didn't get a chance. Or it's like the reason why he didn't get a chance, the reason why he isn't a draw and all this stuff, and the reason why your favorite wrestler like Fandango didn't get a push is because he's not a draw. Nobody, because it's like it's a business too, you know. So it's like that's another thing you have to understand about it, right? And now let's get to another thing I know about Rhea Ripley. It's like how they say a lot, how, you know, oh, she has no good feuds, she has no good like storylines, or she has no one to fight or whatever. It's like the same people telling you that the women's roster is the best it's ever been, and it's the biggest it's ever been too. That's another thing. Are the same people then to say that, oh, she has nobody to fight? Well, this is a good point that C-Jax brings up. If the women's roster is the best it's ever been, then how come she has nobody to fight, right? And I do get that does add to the like idea that like, oh, she doesn't have anyone good in a match. It's like, yeah, I mean, obviously you don't have anyone good to go up against if your competition isn't that good. So therefore you don't have good opponents to face. Therefore your booking is hindered, right? And then now we can get into like presentation, wrestling, what style does she have, right? So her entrance song, I don't know how to say this, but it's made by Motionless in White, which, you know, I'm somebody that knows music, right? So it's like, obviously I know who they are. They're a newer metalcore band, right? So it's so perfect that it's them that makes Rhea Ripley's song. And the thing is that I don't really like the song. You know, I am a guy that does like metal, but the thing is that it doesn't really feel like a metal song. It seems like there's a lot of like electronics and stuff in there. That's one thing you gotta like realize about this new metalcore is that like it's a lot like it's not really like metal anymore. And the thing is too, every time she comes out, they have to play her song. Like you could literally be like in the middle of a match or whatever, and like, because the thing is, right, when somebody comes in during the middle of the match, it's supposed to be a surprise, right? But no, when you play her music, then it's no surprise. Like, oh, wow, that's Rhea Ripley. It's like, that's great. Congratulations. You figured out who it was. Maybe it's like you had to play the song for you to figure that out. And from what I've seen, they don't do this with everybody. So, you know, all the like famous wrestlers in the past, whatever, like every time they would come out, it wasn't like every time they would play their song. But for some reason, for Rhea Ripley, because Triple H thinks that she's China, right? This is another thing I'm going to talk about. You know, I don't know exactly why Triple H books her. I mean, obviously, I don't talk to him personally, so it's not like I 100% know why. I don't know, but maybe in this new WWE Unreal show, maybe we can dig more into that. But I highly doubt he's going to mention this because of China. But I have a sneaky suspicion that he secretly sees China through Rhea Ripley. if you know who China is, then you'd understand that, like, yeah, these two are pretty similar. But the thing with Rhea Ripley is that we haven't seen her win the IC title yet. Not the women's one. I mean, she definitely probably could win the women's one, but I mean the actual, like, Intercontinental title. Reason why I say this is because China won the actual IC title, and she, it's the Attitude Era, so it wasn't like she was going to go beat up The Rock or Stone Cold, but, she would try to, or at least, like, try and, like, get in there and be like, oh, yeah, we'll see, like, this is somebody that was a woman, and, she was competing for the WWE Championship. I'm like, it was crazy back then, right? But Rhea Ripley does, because I did see a clip from Logan Paul's podcast where she was on, because, of course, she was on, right? And she said that she could beat up 70% of men. And let me tell you something, there's no way that's true, right? It's like, it's like if you think every dude is a wrestling fan that is like a modern wrestling fan, then you'd be mistaken, because, right, it's like, how can you beat up 70% of men if not even 70% of men watch wrestling? And the reason why I'm saying this is because she probably thinks that every single dude out there nowadays is all the people, all the modern wrestling fans, right? All the people that watch wrestling now. And let me tell you, like I said back there, that's not the case. It's like, it's funny. It's like, so do you think that, she could beat up The Undertaker? It's like, does she really think that she could beat up The Big Show? Yeah, I don't think so about that one. But then there's the other thing, too, where she'll get into these, like, Twitter arguments and stuff, which like, if I was a wrestler, I mean, I could get into a whole, like, how modern wrestling is with, like, social media and stuff. But as of right now, the only thing I'll talk about is the situation with Rhea Ripley. So, I saw a post on Instagram, yeah, that was the one right there, and she basically was saying that people were sending fan mail to her house, like her actual house, and she was saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to throw it away because mommy don't talk, right? I'm going to take back my time. I never lost you, right? But here's the thing, right? It's like, when you get into the business or when you get into the wrestling business, it's like, you are a public figure, right? This is the thing with becoming a celebrity that, it's something that isn't talked about a lot. Once you become a celebrity, you're going to get tons of people, some unwanted interactions, stuff like that, and unwanted attention too. And, hopefully when she got into the business, she understood that that's one of the risks that comes with it. I mean, surely she knows that, but if she didn't, then, that's kind of a dumb move on her end. But I'm not, like, totally offended that she would throw the letters out. I mean, I get it, like, you don't want people sending fan mail to your, like, actual house, like, and there are ways that you can do it, like, there are ways that you can do it, like, you can send the letters to the WWE Performance Center, which is in Florida, or I think it's in Orlando, Florida to be specific, but there's ways you can do it. So I understand, like, her reasoning for, like, wanting to throw them out, because it also gives, like, the like, inclination that, like, hey, don't do it, or, like, hey, don't send a letter to my house or else I'm gonna, like, throw it out. It gives, like, people the motivation to, like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do it this way, right? I understand that. But then you get into the interactions that she'll have on social media with people where it's like, if I was a wrestler, it's like, if I was somebody that couldn't handle the heat, or was somebody that just doesn't like the landscape of Twitter, which is, I get, because, Twitter is just one of those chaotic platforms. It's like, that's one of the things that you gotta realize when you're going into it. It's like, you're dealing with millions of people around the world that are always complaining and talking about the craziest things. And yeah, that's most social medias, but especially on X, like, I don't know, like, it just feels like the most natural platform that breeds arguments, right? And it breeds this argument that I'm having about Rhea Ripley right now. So, if you know Rhea Ripley, right, where, she seems like somebody that, now, I don't know her personally. I have seen videos of her, like, I'm gonna be real, like, for how much I dog on her on this video, she's probably a nice person in real life, you know, so that's good, right? Based off the videos I've seen of her, like, with talking with, like, fans or whatever, so, you know, that's good, right? But what I'm trying to say here is that, like, you know, if you're somebody, and you can tell based off the interactions that Rhea Ripley's somebody that, you know, is insecure, just like all of us, right? But she doesn't have the best way of handling it. I'll show, like, one example here. I remember a couple months back, she posted a tweet about how the fans were, like, complaining about her, and then one of the things that stuck out about that tweet was that she was like, "Wow, now you guys go back to your miserable lives," or whatever. Like, you know, it could very much be like one of those, like, heal you people promos. Like, it could easily fill into that. And whether this was, you know, like, part of the script or not, it wasn't really part of the script because they didn't really follow up with this on, like, TV, right? But, you know, if you're a wrestler and you think of the fans, now obviously, like, I think there are, like, some weird fans out there. Like, there are definitely fans that leave a lot to be criticized, right? But generally, I don't think it's the smartest move to attack the fans that keep your business alive, and they're the people that go to the shows every week, no matter how expensive they are, no matter how much TKO raises the prices of tickets. They're the people that go to the shows every week. So to disrespect them in real life is really a low look. And another thing about this that too is that, like, it's a sense of, like, sort of entitlement, which, you know, I could do a whole video on entitlement in wrestling now. You know, I just feel like everybody nowadays, like, all these wrestlers, like, "Oh, I wasn't blitzed correctly. Oh, I should have gotten this. Oh, I should have gotten that." It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about you and your opportunities that you missed out on. Things happen, you know. That's to put it simply. Like, sometimes it's just like you don't draw, or sometimes you don't have the skills or the move sets to be a wrestler. It's like not everybody is guaranteed to be a 5-star wrestler, you know, or be a Hall of Famer, right? Not everybody's gonna be one. That's why it's special when you get the Hall of Famers, right? When you do get a Hall of Fame type wrestler, right? And yeah, it's kind of weird too that I think that, you know, Rhea Ripley is going out to the fans when she knows that, or at least I do think that she knows that she has a lot of fans, and she'll say whatever, like, "Oh, don't take me seriously," or whatever. It's like, you know, the reason why they don't take you seriously is because, for one, and this is another thing I forgot to mention. So I have a graphic up here where I'm looking at this. And I'm like, she's only wrestled in 34 matches in 3 years. Now, live events, they're not counting for. I'm sure she's done a lot more matches than 34 if you're including live events. But 34 matches on live TV in the span of 3 years? Like, there are wrestlers that get to 34 matches, like, within half a year. And you don't see them complaining about, like, "Oh, I don't get opportunities. Oh, the fans don't take me seriously." Right? You don't see them saying that. Is to, you know, be taken seriously as a wrestler, you kind of gotta have wrestling matches and be in wrestling storylines. And it seems like the only thing that she does now, and this is another thing about the social media thing that she does, is she posts a lot of thirst traps. Now, when you say thirst traps, it means like she'll post a picture and, like, she'll reveal a lot of skin or whatever, you know, something that, you know, certainly a person in Saudi Arabia would not like, right? But it's like, I'm sick of this, like, you know, this is something in general where it's like, you know, women, it's like, guys, don't get it twisted. Women do this stuff for attention. It's like, "Oh, we do it for other reasons." It's like, no, you do it because you want attention. And, you know, that's how you get attention. And it's like, don't be surprised when you get that attention. It's like, you posted a bikini pic, and then you're gonna act like, "Oh my gosh, I got attention." It's like, dog, don't be surprised. That's what happens when you post this type of stuff. And, you know, sometimes you're gonna get the weirdo. That's just the way it is. That's the way that, you know, the life is in general, not even just the internet. Like, in general, there's just gonna be people out there that, you know, it's like everybody has, you know, a little bit of, like, lust inside them where the only thing they care about is the beauty, or they just can't hold back the urge. and then that's why you get like these gooners and stuff on social media, right? Which she attracts a lot of that stuff. And now I wanted to talk about like her moveset or whatever, because it's like, that's another thing. It's like they act like, because Rhea Ripley's this big wrestling star, right? And they're always like, oh well, her wrestling ability is great. Oh, it's so good. It's like it's like her finisher is a pump handle slam. Like, no, this is something that like the Hurricane did, and it wasn't really considered that impressive of a finisher back then, but because the standards now are so low, that's now considered some crazy finisher, right? And about like her actual like, gimmick, or like not really gimmick, but like just her appearance in general, like as a wrestler. Now she has a ton of tattoos. Now my thoughts on tattoos are like, you can definitely go overboard with it, and I don't like it when people go overboard with the tattoos. And whether she has or not, I don't know. I haven't seen all the tattoos. I'm not like somebody that like looks at her every day, on social media, right? But if you're going to portray her as a babyface, like what they're doing right now, then it's kind of weird of her to wear like all this gothic stuff, like the leather jacket and the like the one in the image here, right? This doesn't look like somebody that's like a superhero or whatever. So, I'm not saying like she has to be a heel or she has to be a face, but it's just kind of weird to have her be this face when she looks like that, right? It's like when you think of like a goth like person, where it's like you think of somebody that's like a rebel, or doesn't take rules from anyone, right? All right, with all that out of the way, that's gonna do it for this, at this point, pretty long video about Rhea Ripley. Now, I'm sure there's other things that I could get into about Rhea Ripley, like just thinking of them right now, but I'm not gonna sit here forever because that's a video for another day. And if you guys liked this video, of course, like it, do all the stuff that you want to do down below. And remember, guys, we the ones.